Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Welcome in, Justin. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. For once, hey Guts, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. For once, I don't have to guess at what I'm gonna make a video on for Sunday anymore. For like the next few weeks. I got things covered. Thank you, 5.7 preview. Yes. There's not much, so it's gonna be like only 2-3 weeks of stuff, but it's still something. Something. But I hope you guys have had a lovely day so far. Yes, if you haven't heard, 5.7 preview is now out. Which I feel is considerably faster than before between the putting it on the website to releasing the preview, but maybe I'm mistaken. But T-minus about a month till 5.7, I guess. I think it usually takes about a month before they release the full version. And we're going to be exploring some stuff. Today, what I really want to explore, actually, is the AI. I want to explore the built-in Unreal AI, assuming it's in the preview. Because I've been using Grok. Because Grok does a good job of searching online. And when you're dealing with blueprints specifically, or just Unreal things that are not C++, you really need to search, especially for new things. So we're going to see how good it is at one being used, what it does know and what it doesn't know, and then see if it can itself teach us the new things. It's not on the preview. Welcome in, Varun. Why are you giving me such shitty news? I don't like these news. Why couldn't you come in and be like, you won $1 million? I'd be happy for you. Now that's just disappointment and sadness. Hey Stormrun, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. You thought it said 5.7 expires today? No, acceleration today. A little different. I mean, I have 5.7 open in front of me and I don't see anything on the sidebar, so it might not, you might be right. But if it is not there, it's not like a plugin that I need to turn on, I'm gonna be very sad. You're working at the same time you're watching me? Are you talking about Ludus AI? I don't know what Ludus AI is. I'm talking about the one that's built into Unreal in 5.7. The one that's gonna make all the very expensive AIs cry and get dropped like a rock. Paying $200 or whatever it is to get ChatGPT inside of Unreal Engine. Well, it's free now. I guess once probably the release comes out. I mean, we'll see. See. Hey, Blue Sticker, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You're not upgraded if you can make a blueprint for you. Well, we're gonna see, but Ludus is a decent helper AI. I mean, I'd love to see how it is compared to Grok. Grok is really good. It makes very few mistakes, typically. But there is no bar here. Is it AI assistant? I mean, I see if it's AI assistant. I don't know which one it is. Inside of, it's called... Wait, where is it? That's editor. Audio. No, it was down below. Right, it was down below. It was under... It was editor, right? AI assistant. Yeah, it's called AI assistant. Yeah, it's right there. You just gotta restart. Hell yeah, we're so checking this out. Question. Next question. PCG. No! Why is it still... Well, it still says beta, so that hasn't been updated. Good job, guys. I was really hoping that PCG would just be enabled by default now. I'll be honest, I'm tired of telling people to go into here and turn this on every time. I wish it was just enabled. Should I do it every time? Considering you can just follow along from scratch, not knowing any PCG, yes. Oh. Let's see. I'd be so mad if you can make your whole year worth of a game in a few minutes. Oh no, it's not gonna be do that. Hey, Skronek, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Well, I've enabled it. How do I access it? Wait. Hold on. It's enabled. It doesn't show, like, it's just there. Hello, Leon. Leon, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Best channel from Morocco? Are you the best channel from Morocco? Because I'm not from Morocco. Is it a tools window? No. Also, there's no... The PCG section isn't here either. What the hell is it in this preview? What is... Oh no, right there. AI assistant. I found it. I found it. Aha! Hold on. Please complete the security check to continue. Oh. I didn't actually do anything. Ha 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 ha! Ask anything about Unreal. Here we go. Here we go. So those are your mind when they release these plugins without proper docs. Not a fan of the go figure it out. Yeah, did you watch today's YouTube short / TikTok that I posted? So by using Epic Developer Assistance, you agree to the terms and have read our privacy policy. I'm sure everyone has read the Epic privacy policy. Absolutely. This is an AI tool and can make mistakes. Verify outputs. I cannot zoom this. for Unreal Editor for Fortnite. I'm sorry, what do you mean for Unreal Editor for Fortnite? Because Fortnite uses UEFN. But it can't be for Unreal Editor that is for Fortnite. It's for... We're gonna ask anything about you. I don't want to care about... I don't care about UEFN. Why are we getting UEFN here? You guys can't see it. Ask anything about UEFN. I don't care about UEFN. Well, let's find out. Where do we go with? What? Okay, let's start with this. What can we make with in PCG using it as a guide? If we want to use it as a guide to see if it knows... Check with something you know well, like a previous video. No, I want to check with like PCG, something with PCG. So, should I tell it? Do we do something simple first? I think we do something very simple first. Okay? Am I the PCG guy? Depends who you ask. What do you mean by that? Am I the PCG guy? I might have made a video or two on PCG, if that's what you mean. Just a few, though. I haven't done too much PCG stuff. Much work YouTube when you're on Twitch. Okay, let's start. Yeah, it may be, Justin. Is this for only for UFN or the full version? Sure. And because I'm lazy, copy, paste. Let's see how fast it is. Okay. This is taking quite a while for a basic answer. Unreal Editor for Fortnite UEFN is a specialist for Unreal Engine, but I'm not using this in UEFN. I'm not using this in UEFN, but rather in 5.7 preview. Wait, where did you even send the message? Oh, down below. It doesn't auto scroll. Sorry, I can't answer your question. Please rephrase it and try again. So it is not a chatbot. You cannot have a conversation with it. You can only ask it questions. Okay, learned. How do I make a wooden fence with BCG? I wish it would auto scroll. You might find these useful. Memory sequence device and scene events. Is this right now currently just for UEFN? Because if it is, it's gonna be useless. Create a wooden fence using procedure content generation in 5.7 preview, not UEFN. Okay, so it noted that it's not UEFN. You should use these PCG frameworks and blueprints. Or maybe it's saying that because it thinks I'm in UEFN, and this is how you do it in the I don't know. As verse, scripting, and Fortnite-specific devices are not available in the standard Unreal Engine. Hey, Jill, how do you welcome in? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Well, that's what we're checking right now. I want to know if this is better than my current go-to for asking any blueprint-related questions, which is using Grok. Grok has been my go-to for anything AI blueprint-related because it has done a very good job about giving me actual like blueprint answers that are correct and not like hallucinating or anything. So that's what I want to see. How good is it? And actually, the best way of comparing this, okay, is we're going to look at what it does here, and we're going to check and do the same thing on Grok. And I'm going to compare. In fact, I'm going to make the same question. Yeah. I'm going to put the same question, but I'm going to specify use PCG in Unreal Engine 5. Just because, obviously, it knows already that we're in Unreal Engine 5. It doesn't in Grok, so to make it fair. How to make it WinFS on Unreal Engine 5. We're going to see what it says. In the meantime, while that's generating that, let's see what it says. Set up a graph. Add a PCG graph asset to your project. Right-click Content Browser, Miscellaneous PCG Graph. Yep. Let's go ahead and just make a little fence test folder. Said miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. No. So already, it is wrong. Step 1, it is wrong. It's under PCG graph. Step 1 is wrong. Okay? Step number 1 is wrong. Can I correct it? There is no miscellaneous PCG graph option. What if I just tell it there is no option? I'll think about it. But this has been terrible. Okay, we'll continue on while it's generating and thinking about the other stuff. In your PCG graph, add a grid sampler. Guys, does create points grid sound like a grid sampler? Two for two. Failed. Select meshes. Choose or import the wooden fence meshes. Okay. Add a spawn actor / static mesh node after your sampler, assigning to your fence mesh. So what it wants to do is use this and use a static mesh spawner right after it. My God. Okay. Set transform modifiers. Use the transform nodes in the PCG graph to adjust position, rotation, and scaling to ensure the fence panels align and space correctly. So really, it wants me to use a transform nodes, which doesn't exist. Okay, so effectively, this has been garbage. This has been worse than I could have ever imagined. What has it said about the corrections? Okay. In Unreal Engine 7 preview, if you do not see PCG graph option under miscellaneous in the content browser, It might not be enabled by default. When has it ever been enabled by default? Was there 2 plugins? No. If I search AI, there's just AI Assistant. Also, there should never be a UEFN one separate from an Unreal one in Unreal. It should be the Unreal one, right? Edit plugins, search for PCG, turn it on, restart the editor after enabling. Okay, so this is correct. Create a PCG graph asset. Now you should see PCG graph under miscellaneous. No? No? No, it's not under miscellaneous. Are you sure it's supposed to be there? No. I mean, maybe, but the problem is, I don't remember where it was previously. You're right about that. It might be referencing an older one, but right here, generated steps in Unreal Engine 5.7. General steps. It specifies 5.7 here. So it's just not right. Hey, Varian, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You guys get straight out what AI model it's using to find out if it's Grok or ChatGPT. It's definitely not Grok, I'll tell you that. So this has been garbage so far. I hate to say it. So this is Grok. Okay, it took 35 seconds, prerequisites. Edit plugins, search for PCG, enable it. Okay, create a new project. You know, create a whole project, create a PCG graph. In the corner, right click empty folder. And then go to PCG graph, correct. Double click PCG fence gen to open the PCG graph editor. You know, good. And then it's telling me how to set up grammar. It's giving me a grammar setup, not a basic like spline and attach a mesh. It's giving me grammar. This is why I go to Grok. By the way, because Grok's search is insane for Unreal. It gives you the whole like graph setup here, and I could like guarantee that it has a little bit of issue somewhere. But under parameters, it tells us adding grammar, make it a grammar string, correct. Enter this as the grammar string. Get spline data and add grammar attribute. Get from the input node and get spline data node. It hasn't told me what to create the spline data, but we can, you know, work around that. But the point is, right? It's giving me a lot of information here. And very good, even for the grammar, which is crazy. Thank you for clarifying. Unreal 5.7 preview, the PCG graph asset may not be listed under miscellaneous category. Epic has made UA changes in recent PCG releases. Rocket Conrad, look for PCG category. PCG graph. May also use the Connor browser. Okay. All of the original steps were incorrect and do not exist as the nodes they said they should be. I mean, let's see if it can correct itself. Let's find out. Oh, and I'm gonna, sorry, I forgot to ask it about which AI model it's using. I'll do that after. What to do for PCG and Unreal 5% for you? Nail the plugin. Okay. Choose PCG category. So now it knows. The node list and naming convention may have changed in 5.7 preview. Many nodes like grid sampler has never been a thing. may now be called. So it doesn't even. When I first read this, if you watched the live stream or the video where I went over going over just the roadmap, the thing that I said here was, it's not a matter of if it can search, it's a matter of how good is it search. Because searching is a bare minimum now. And if it doesn't know, if it cannot search, because this is almost not even searching. Because it has never been this, as far as I can remember, or if it was this, it was like in the very beginning version. Oh, my only guess. In either case, even let's say I give it the benefit of the doubt, and let's say I'm like, okay, I understand the knows it once. This is still not the correct way to make a fence. This is still wrong, and it's not very, like, the details here are not very helpful. Even of the original one, which was a little bit more set in stone, I would basically create a grid of fence meshes, right? Because all I'm using is a create points grid, transforming them so I can rotate them or move them around, but it doesn't make a fence specifically. So for PCG, this seems really, really, really bad. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna give it a thumbs down. I'm gonna help. Because all of these were really bad. Hopefully that provides some feedback, guys, because this gives me little hope for every other test that I want to do. I will say. Okay. If I press plus, it clears the entire thing. I cannot go back to the previous one, I assume. Hold on, it's asking me to log in. Sign into Epic Games. Okay, sure. Maybe it'll store the stuff if I log into it. Why do I need to log into it when I had to log into the launcher already? Shouldn't I just get the information from the launcher? These are the questions that I want answers to, but whatever. Sorry, 2FA. I want to know that blue sneaker. Yeah, that's on my list of things I want to be checking. Yeah, so I've logged in. So now I have a drop down here. So I'm using, we're going to try again, logged in. See if it makes any difference. U5.7 preview. How do I
here. Pausing for ads.
Make a fence in using PCG? I won't send it until after the ads. Hold on, before I do that, because I keep getting distracted. What AI model are you based on? Sorry, I can't answer your question. Please rephrase it and try again. It should generate a picture of a middle finger here. Are you a chatbot? No. You need it to be a chatbot. It can't just answer. Okay, so it saves these. Can I delete them? I can rename and delete. Okay, yes. Can I? Okay, so this is the original ECG fence question. Okay, so I can swap between all of them and make a new one. Okay. Hey, Maron, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this seems like so far this AI is very cooked. But I want to see what it can do. So far, this is like, you know, like someone's like, we need something. It doesn't have to work, but we just need something. You know what it reminds me of? Hold on, let me see if I can find the video. It reminds me of this video from 5 years ago. I actually didn't know it's 5 years ago. Here, I'll mute it so you guys can hear it.
Okay, someone put their persona pointing a gun at me and said, "Show us what's inside the fridge, Wayne." You want the truth? You want the truth? You want the fucking truth? Oh, there is no fridge.
Yeah, so this is basically the AI. This is how I'm feeling right now about the AI, where it looks like there's AI, but there's not actually AI. Okay, let's try again. I'm logged in. Let's see if it makes any difference. I said... Sorry, I can't answer your question. Please rephrase it and try again. I'm using Unreal UE57 preview. How do I make a fence using PCG? Okay, so I think we can officially say for Unreal Engine, for PCG so far, do not even enable this. Now, I know what you might be thinking, it is experimental. Well, we're experimenting with it. As a reminder, Grok has given me a freaking setup for using grammar step by step. And has explained like different keys. And has done a good job on it. And I can guarantee I can ask it more questions and it'll correct it. Okay, let's try something different. Okay. Okay, let's try something different. Let's say, how do I make my default third person character crouch? I believe that's not default built in, right? Let me just double check. I'm gonna add the third person setup. And then we're just gonna make a new level. Actually, we're just gonna go to edit project settings. Is it maps and modes? Yeah. Third person game mode. Right, okay. So I don't believe I can crouch by default. No. Okay. We can jump, but we can't go crouch. Okay. I just want to know, how do we crouch? Unreal, animation aside, has a built-in crouch thing, if I recall. We basically set it up on a hotkey. So, for example, what I'm expecting, is for it to tell me to create input actions, but I'm gonna do it as a basic a debug key. Sure, tab, and then we're just gonna do a flip flop. And then we're gonna do crouch and uncrouch. I know, crazy stuff here. You've never seen anything like it. There's enough. It's working. Yoo-hoo. Excuse me? Thank you, Daryl. I was like, there's probably something on the movement. Can crouch. Thank you, Daryl. Welcome in also. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. There we go. Obviously, it does not play the animation. No animations to be had, but it is lowering it. And if we take a look at the... it's so rare that you enable crouch once and then you always forget about it afterwards. If I enable the visibility on the capsule component, right, it gets smaller, right? So this is what it's built in, right? Super simple. So this is what we wanted to create, or tell us to create, but ideally what it would tell us to do is to set up enhanced input actions to do this. Obviously, I'd want it to also tell us to do animations and all of that stuff. I don't expect that. Let's see where we'll get with just blueprint things that are super basic. It's the most basic stuff there is. You know, because it keeps thinking this is UEFN, I'm going to say in Unreal Engine 5.7. Or just say in Unreal Engine 5, because it's not any different anywhere else. How do I make my default third-person character crouch? Sorry, I can't answer your question. Please rephrase it and try again. How do I make a third-person character crouch? How do I make a character crouch? So, I was excited for this one. I use AI a lot to learn. I was genuinely excited for this one. Oh, you're right. I misspelled crouch. Good catch. It shouldn't matter. But let's double check. No, it doesn't count. Doesn't care. No. That was a good catch. Good catch. I would hope it's good enough for the spelling. Because it's saying rephrase it. It doesn't say like it's not working. It says rephrase. Make my character crouch. Thinking. Oh my god, it's working with that, Maroon? Oh, this is a UEFN. I don't want a UEFN. Make my character crouch in Unreal Engine 5. Dig it until ChatGPT is better than you, it will try harder. I don't like ChatGPT, and yes, ChatGPT is a lot better than this. Does it mean you specify C++ or blueprints? I don't know. This is UEFN. I don't know how UEFN is set up. I don't know if it requires C++. So wait. I'm here to help with Verse and Unreal Editor for Fortnite only. Why are you here? For Unreal Engine 5 questions about character crouching, please refer to official Unreal Engine documentation or tutorials. Please tell me where this documentation or tutorial is for crouching. So then, hold on a second. Why is there a UEFN thing inside of Unreal Engine? Question 1. Question 2, if this statement is true, why in this one were you answering general steps for in Unreal Engine 5.7? They were all wrong. Mind you, they were all wrong, but it did not say that it can only do UEFN. They're not images, they're links. It's like, you might find these useful. It's just... No. It should not be, you might find these useful. It should be, these are useful specifically for your question. Do my videos come up? No. Because it's thinking UEFN. Even when I was doing the PCG stuff, no. This is... None of this was... No. Well, AI assistant might as well not be here at the current moment. I'm hoping maybe they made a mistake, and they actually put the wrong AI assistant in. And this one's supposed to go UEFN. But I will say this, okay? No matter if this is the wrong one or the right one, it cannot search. If it can only ask about UEFN in this one, that means it is literally limited to what it knows and nothing else. It will not go outside of it. So as far as I'm concerned, it is useless. Just genuinely useless. I will personally continue using Grok then, because that's the one that has a really good search for blueprints and even PCG stuff and everything else that I've been doing. But as far as this, don't even bother. Which is sad. I mean, I'll revisit it on launch, but at this point, I have zero hopes. ChatGPT will recommend my videos. Fun fact. ChatGPT will recommend my videos. So if anything, I should be telling you guys to use ChatGPT. But then again, you're already here, so. Actually, let me see what ChatGPT does for the same question as I gave Grok and stuff. Yeah, this is the same question to create the fence. You build procedural wooden fence with PCG, thinking of it as a fence, blah, blah, blah. Use a PCG volume in your level and draw a spline inside of it. Okay, well, again, it's fucked up. This is not how you make a spline. Use spline components from the blueprints or place spines and feed them into your PCG graph. How? It tells me nothing. It tells me nothing. Enable the plugin. Here's the syntax for the grammar. It is of a type string. It goes in parameter. You click the plus button in parameters and call it grammar. Here's what it's set up as. Set the attribute type to grammar, type in string. Like and then if I want to from there, here are the links. dev.epicgames.com and a YouTube link that it was looking up for this information. And this is the fast version. I could ask for it to use the very thoughtful version, the expert, and it does an even better job. But there's only a limited amount of times you can do that per day or per a few hours. I don't remember. Usually I just do fast everything. So that has been our adventure with AI Assistant. Any questions? Maybe you gotta specify that to use at the start to not use UEFN. No, because in the model in the crouch one I specified. That's why in Unreal Engine 5 it's specified then. For whatever reason on this one, that nope. Oh, it has. ChatGPT has recommended me my own videos. A while back when I was still using it for searching, before I swapped to Grok, yeah, it was recommending my own videos. I didn't know they were my videos, to be fair, right? Have you done a PCG video on crowd spawning? Building a game that has bleachers, and that would be awesome to have PCG fill them. I mean, you just sample the points on the bleachers, or however you want to do it. You can do raycasts, you can do points, you could specify, because you might want to have specific locations where they sit or stand, like a certain distance apart. You can also put some sockets in the static meshes, so you just specify where they spawn, and then you can just pick random ones and then spawn actor. That's all it is. You spawn your characters there and you're good. Yeah, there's not much to it. I think the socket method might be the best one. Even though it will be a little more manual, because you shouldn't have that too many bleachers, setups. And because otherwise, doing like a raycast or a sample, they won't line up exactly where you'd want them, I think. Okay, well, goodbye AI assistant. Okay, let's go next. This was thoroughly disappointing. Let's go to the PCG section. Procedural. Okay. PCG editor mode. I don't think it's here. Unless it's a separate plugin. Fast Geo Interrupt. Geometry Script, Instance Actors, Nagra, Python, and Water. What is Fast Geo? Runtime spawning of primitives using Fast Geo components. Yeah. So that's not in either. So you don't have editor mode yet. Okay. I do have a video on this, by the way. If you want this kind of functionality without the parameters, you're gonna find it. Hell if I remember what I called it. Which probably means bad SEO. A while ago, though. It was like I thought it was like a tricks video. Oh, 2 built-in Unreal Engine tools. This one. So, if you want here, you could just draw PCG. Where do I just draw it? Right, so I'm just drawing it. And then there's the shape, and then when I hit accept, yeah, I can undo. Great. Hit accept, there's the PCG graph, right? Congratulations, this already exists. In this kind of function, it doesn't have any of the set up the default setups, but yeah, here you go if you want that functionality. I guess editor mode's not in. What am I working on tomorrow? We'll see how much of this we get through today. So, like, it depends on what's in it. If we have enough and more time that we want to spend in here, I might spend a little more time tomorrow in 5.7 preview land. Otherwise, yeah, we'll go back to game dev. Okay, procedural vegetation editor. Procedural vegetation editor is a new experimental plugin. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Go ahead and enable it and restart. Yeah, you don't need to save that. Okay, we have made it. How do I get it? Okay, it's under foliage. Ooh, Ooh, okay, okay, here we go. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Common hazel. European quacking aspen? I'm sorry. Quacking? Oh, hold on. European quacking aspen. No, it's European aspen that's something. I want to know about the European quacking aspen specifically. Is the common name for whatever is a species of specific to Europe, North Africa, and Asia. I want the quacking one. Better let you add your own meshes? Oh yeah, absolutely will. That's not even a question. Okay. Question 1. Okay. It does not mess with my layout. Okay. I had to double check that it did not just change my entire layout for regular PCG. Look, it looks similar, right? It's using the PCG graphs. Well, actually, no, it's not. Well, or actually, is it? No, it's definitely not. It's its own thing. It just looks very similar to PCG. Okay, so that's trippy. That's our tree. Okay. It actually comes with leaves. We have actually leaf textures. Interesting. So, okay, so this is the data. It takes a JSON file. Is this another one of those that we cannot just make inside of Unreal? Yeah, these are just the versions of it. So, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Templates, no. Oh, that's a different graph. So if I was to go where it tells me, well, no, it's not even this is Q. This is not even like a local.
Pausing for ads.
This was just imported. What? So unlike SpeedTree, you can't make this and customize this yourself? Am I... I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. We might not be able to make our own trees if we don't have something else making our trees. It says create. I mean, you're creating the meshes are edited through the vegetation editor and PCG-based node graph editor using the provided importer node and skeleton presets distributed in the plugins content folder. So you cannot make your own. You modify the tree shape through gravity, carve, scale operations, adjust the leaves and branch distribution, assign different leaf models, export the skeletal mesh or static mesh, including edit. So you cannot make your own trees at the current moment. Make a tree out of a blueprint character. Okay. So at the current moment, we cannot make... Okay. I don't like how it automatically shows me the one that I'm not pressing. If I just click on this node, it automatically highlights it and makes it visible. I want to stay visible on this one and modify these. Okay, let's play around with these though. Okay? Let's see what all of this does. Carve. 1. 0.1. 0. Okay. I don't know if this is global. Because I guess it is 10% of the total length because it's not per branch. Radius. It's not 0.1 units unless this is tiny. I don't know the scale of this, to be fair. 0.5 is literally half of the size of it. So I don't feel like it's radius. Length from root. Okay, so you can cut off... Wait. Length from root 0 takes everything. Length from root 0.6 keeps 0.4. I don't think this is supposed to be length from root. Root is here. Although, but I was also confused why it says from bottom. Oh, from bottom just removes the bottom whatever thing you want. Okay, so this one makes sense. So you can make a tree into a bush pretty easily by taking the part of the tree. Effectively. Not actually, but you know. Z position takes from the top. Okay, Z position is what I was expecting. Length. No, even this. No, what does there be with Z position and length from root? No, almost nothing. I don't understand, but okay. You can trim it, okay? You can carve it. Allows the user to trip the vegetation structure. Yeah. Yeah, let's play around with gravity. Gravity is 0. I'll make gravity. It's so sad. It's so sad. 0.5, you can tell it to be in a direction. You can make it look like it's in blowing in the wind. You know, by using gravity. You know, that's pretty good. If you want like a static tree that's just bent, you know, you can use gravity for that. Why not? And then angle correction. So hold on, if we make gravity 1. Okay, so angle correction. This is 0 angle correction. Angle correction. 1.0 gravity, 0 gravity. So now it keeps the main trunk correct. It only droops the outside areas. Fair. Okay. Let's droop a little bit. Let's droop a little bit. And we'll do like 0.5 angle correction. So it'll also bend a little. Yeah, it's a little more interesting. Scale. I assume they just scales the entire thing. Yes. It's just linear scale. Yeah, that's just scaling. But here, hold on. It's scaling, but are the leaves scaling? The leaves are not scaling. Oh, okay. So that's interesting then. If I make it absolutely massive... Oh no, are the leaves scaling? No, hold on. They are definitely scaling. They have to be. Otherwise, it wouldn't look like this. I wish I could preview this and edit another node at the same time. No, they're scaling. They're absolutely scaling. Okay, never mind. I got excited for nothing. So scale is... I mean, useful, I guess. Remove branches. Okay, just literally removes random branches. Now, if I did 0.5 here, it's on light. Length. Again, length is, it's like, unless this is tiny, makes no sense. Radius, again, same thing. I don't, it doesn't make much sense to me. Age. Again, age in what? Are the longer branches older? Well, no. Because if I do 0.1, like this one here disappears, and that one's definitely longer than some of the other ones. Put a negative number, where? I cannot put it in here. Generation. This remove branches is odd. Okay. Mesh builder. And the branch number? Oh, the remove branches? Yeah, we can't do negative in here. I'll try negative one here. Nope. Can't do negative. I can obviously do negative scale. In direction. No, none of these allow negatives. You do material settings. Cool. Okay, here's the yeah. So I know that I should expect much, but I was hoping that the connection point would at least blend a little bit better. Why is this like beige and this is clearly birch, like a white birch? Why does these look like they're like tinted or something? Or like entirely different material? Or is it just because of the scale of it? It doesn't scale it properly. Because you need to adjust the scale to have the tiling match. Maybe it's just that. Okay. Let's see what we have. Point removal. What is this removing? Nothing. Segment reduction. Nothing. Segment retention impact. Nothing. Longest segment allowed. Nothing. I love how I'm changing these mesh settings and nothing is changing. Shortest amount required. Oh! Okay. So this will make it more low res if we want. There we go. Because the segments were so small, that's why. Min divisions 0. If I did 2 or 1. Wait, 0 means... Oh, sorry, I put it in the wrong place. 10, 100, 10. Max divisions 100, 100. This doesn't make it any better. Okay, this is the this part. Max divisions go around. Are there textures that branches set separately? We're gonna find out. This probably in this material settings section. We'll get there momentarily. Also, welcome in, Brian. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. What are the meshes made of? Tell me it isn't JSON. This part is JSON. Yeah. Which we cannot, I mean, unless you know how to create it, it's not helpful to us. We can only modify what they gave us, basically, at the current moment. Reduction accuracy, hull retention, main trunk retention. Hull retention gradient. Hull retention. This doesn't do much. I mean, yeah, it is their first one. So, you know, I'll give them some leeway on this one. But I was expecting that we will have a speed tree-like creator where we can specify trunk, how many things. But here's the good news, okay? There are tutorials on YouTube that shows you how to create trees using BCG. I hear this channel's pretty good for stuff. To create your own. These are not great trees, I will be honest. But this was like a very basic, like get you started trees, not like create the most beautiful trees. But if you want to know the general premise of how you create trees with BCG using like branches and stuff, here you go. Okay, displacement texture, we don't need it. Okay, let's do material settings. Generation offset. Watch, mine didn't help. It was just a tree and making one out of other stuff. What do you mean out of other stuff? Like people? I created out of just 3 meshes. See if we can change this. What? Why is this changing the material? Oh, generation materials. Here it is. Oh, I see. So you can plug in your materials here. And then it will pick between them. Obviously, if it can pick one. Okay. Fair. So it probably randomizes generation, age, radius. No. Now we need generation, but so this is a problem with. I think the main problem with this is UV scale. And that's a problem. This in my book wouldn't like. I'm assuming the little dots, like these little things, might be lighting artifacts. I can't tell. I don't think they're built into the texture. Actually, we can find out. Oh, is that the normal that's causing this? If you zoom in, right, you see those things? I think that's the normal causing that. On all of those, it's normal. Actually, we go on. Oh no, that is absolutely built into the color. It's just a different. It's just a different texture. Why is it doing that? Why? That's just different textures. They don't go together. Yeah, it's mismapped, but if I swap to this one... Like, on this one, it seems okay. Okay. So, hold on, let's open this. We have a few things here. Min max, offset rotation, texture mode. Fit 0. Oh, dear goodness. Oh, yeah. What is it? It's designed this way. Okay, you know what? I question it. I question it. I question this material as well. Oh, hold on. Is this a freaking... No, it's a virtual texture, but... Why would you want... Why would you want this? Like, I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand that some trees have a different trunk, have a different, you know, branch, have a different leaf, right? Like, it changes, like, as it grows. But the problem you get, right, is it doesn't fit together. Right? Or the connection, it just doesn't fit together now. I would much prefer if I could specify the material, maybe, and I could make the branch, let's say 0 to 1 mapped, which you can specify here. If it's 0 to 1. Hold on, why is... No, hold on. Why is this just on this one? Wait. Why is that just affecting that one? Hey, Zebra, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. It's... Oh, Hold on. Wrong this one. So there are separate indexes here, which begs the question of what is this? This one here, this one here. That's what happened. So there's an offset. But how does it know the placement of it? It's because of this. Okay, I think I got it. Figured it out. I fixed the tree. I fixed the tree. Okay. Have a good night, guts. Thanks for stopping by. Get some rest, get some sleep. So yeah, so what they were doing is, yes, using the one material, and they were just offsetting the UVs for each thing, which I guess you specify by the index here. And the last one, again, is index 4. Okay. Okay. Now we know. It was artistic choice. I feel like, yes, I agree. And at the same time, if they made it a stylized tree instead of a realistic texture on this, I think it would have been better understood. Because if I saw a stylized tree with different, like just having a blue trunk, a red branch, a green, you know, like that, I would understand. But this is just showing me that they can be separated. Because it's realistic, I was expecting that this is what it's meant to look. But now I know how it's set up. I don't understand the advanced mesh settings, but this part sort of makes sense. Okay, let's continue on. So this is the bones. There's 720. Also, you guys might want to check your Discord. I think you got a message. So we have 720 bones on this. Now, question. Scale's at 1. If I increase the scale to 2, we still have 720 bones. Okay. Joke's on you, you've been on Do Not Disturb for half a decade. See, the thing is, like, for those that don't know, that is a Twitch redeem. The Discord notification. And it will never get me, pretty much, because I'm also on streamer mode, obviously, when I stream. So I know that it's never for me. Yeah, let's see what this bone stuff is. Bone reduction strength 0.5. So you can do 0 to 1. Okay, so at 1.0, it literally is just from the start of that to the end. So it's the simplest it could do. At 0... Hey, thanks, Shastri. Much appreciated. How's it going? Welcome in. Is it distance-wise? I think it might be a distance thing. Because this one clearly has 5. They all look about the same distance apart. If I do 0.5, which is what it was... So I don't know how I feel about this one. So if you take a look at, let's look at this branch here, okay? Just note this branch. Actually, let's look at a different one that is going to be easier to like isolate. Okay, let's look at this branch here, okay? Find out what the perks are? No perks so far. Other than people coming in saying congratulations. Okay, so this is bone reduction at 0. This is the full bones. They are equal distance apart, roughly, right, between each of these. If I change bones, the bone reduction to 1.0, it just makes one bone from the beginning to the end. But at 0.5, because it had, in our case, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what it did is, at half, it just removed 2 of them and just connected them. These 2 are still the same distance. If you look, see, it's the same thing. But the second half of it no longer has the information. Personally, I would want these spread out evenly again. I don't think there's an LOD Skronek, but I haven't. Maybe I missed it. Because you can already make it low res here. So I don't think it'll do LODs automatically. Yeah, I'm sure you could probably create them, but I don't think it's an automatic thing. So personally, I would like to get it spread out. So it's not, we're keeping, you know, the first point, the first bone as it was, and then, right? If it's 2, I'd like one here. So it goes here and then here. Personal. So good to know, though. That's how the bones work. It should at least give you early access or Chrome style continuous updates, update Unreal. I mean, that'd be nice. Okay, well that's bone reduction. On to foliage palette. Yep. Well, foliage palette will come after that.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Already see it only has the meshes here. It just randomly picks between them. Makes sense. By the way, am I the only one that is a stickler for this? Or I want that to be one material? Am I too much of a stickler? Because, like, whenever I see 2 materials, I'm like, make it 1. Why is it 2? Can you not put it under 1? I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a stickler for that. But I feel like it doesn't need a second material. It could very well just be one material. Stickler. I'm very big on minimizing the materials. It's one of the reasons why I really don't like Kid Bash and Big, Medium, Small. I know I've now ruined any sponsorship opportunities with them. But their Unreal stuff, like each model comes with like 20 or 30 materials. Like it's not built for Unreal. It's built for visual effects and they've ported it to Unreal. It's not built for Unreal because they shouldn't have that many materials. At least, personally, I don't think so. Because that's right. Each one, if you're not doing Nanite, each one is a draw call. Let's go back here. Okay, so we got 3 meshes on foliage palette. Cool, makes sense. Foliage distributor. Ethylene threshold? I don't know what that is. Let's find out what that is. How many do you want? Does this mean something? Is this like facing up kind of thing? No, I don't know what this is. Does it tell me if I hover over it? No, of course not. That would be too convenient. Override distribution. Okay. Instant spacing. Ooh. Okay, instant spacing makes sense. Yeah, we can make a nice bushy tree. No tooltips for you, Shastri. Don't be... Please. What do you think we are? For the characters, the material division doesn't make sense. It's like the head and the legs and the upper arms on one and the rest on the second. Wait. The head and the legs and the upper arms are one? Usually the head is one. Because you want the most detail in the face, right? I don't remember the rest. I think that the rest goes however you want. Sometimes depends how, if it's hidden mostly, then you might just put them all the rest on one. Or you can do like torso because it's pretty big, and then arm, legs all together because they're very like vertical. So you can probably fit all 4 of them on one, torso on the other, head. That's how I would do it. I'm not a character artist, to be fair. But those are like the versions I would do. Either way, head is always separate. If they put head with... Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, Shroll Duck, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Do you know IRL trees have no bones? No, I'm pretty sure last time I ate it, I had to pull out some bones. Or was you telling me that wasn't a tree? I specifically asked the guy for deep fried trees. I'm pretty sure he gave me deep fried trees. Trying to say he was a liar? That was not a tree? What the hell did I eat? Spacing ramp. So it starts at the tip. It's probably going to be easier to see if we change the spacing on this. Okay, so it just makes it so the tips are more barren than the center, or like the starts of it. That's the instant spacing ramp of max per branch. We can even specify max per branch. Okay. And it says, hello, Leo. Welcome in, guys. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Probably don't want to know what it was. Crap. Manage expectations for deep fried toothpicks. Is the tree node really cool? Really good? Well, you cannot make your own trees. That's Jason. You can customize them though. Sort of. Like I cannot specify I want more branches or less branches, which I feel is the most important part. I can make it look like it's drooping and kind of like hunched over and make it bigger and stuff. You know, I can do this, make it hunched. Oh, you can put custom leaves. No, you can do custom leaves. I spent like, you cannot, this part, you cannot edit. So if I wanted this to have a different branch configuration here, I could not do it. Down the line, we're over here and fully distributing. You can. It is experimental, so I forgive them on this one. You're diving into the gameplay camera plugin. Quite a powerful system. I've never played around with it. To be fair, the game I'm making currently has one camera and it's locked, so I haven't needed it. I'm sure it's cool though. I thought so too, Leo. But I've already been disappointed quite a lot today. That I'm taking what I can get. Don't ask me how the AI went. Base scale, so we just make him bigger. Excellent. Wait, I cannot make them bigger than 2.0? No. Not Grok. The one that's built in. Built into Unreal. Now, 5.7. All I'll say is UEFN. And please rephrase this question. Used to cook longer? Yeah, maybe like a couple of years. If one camera, the post-process switching might come in handy. Post-process switching? Do tell me more. I have not heard of this. Yeah, if for reference, for those that weren't here earlier. Where's my chats? Okay, well, great. So it clears all your chats after you close the window. Fun fact. Oh, now it says ask anything about UE. It said UEFN before. Now it says for Unreal Engine. Okay, let's revisit this after we're done with we'll revisit. Okay, we'll revisit. We'll revisit. Just got updated, yeah, live pushed. You can set up camera rigs with individual post-processing settings that you can trigger on gameplay or movement events. Are you talking about like for doing like cinematics? Because I'm trying to figure out why would, like in my setup, where the camera rig would be useful. You did not like that on your stream, so they did a live update. I mean, I doubt it, but you know, it'll be nice. So we cannot scale the leaves past 2.0. Okay, fine. Branch scale impact. What are we doing here? Oh, if the branches are thicker, does it scale the leaves? I see. So if the branch is thicker, makes sense. You probably wouldn't want this, but you know, good to know. Min scale, max scale. So if you want to just give it a max, okay. Random scale, min. So if you want to give it randomness, fair enough. Scale ramp. Okay. If we want to change the kind of the angle of that it's attached to. Yeah. Okay. Philoxati setting. What? What does this mean? What does this word mean? Phyllox. Unreal's not going to tell me. What is Philoxati? Specific term for the arrangement of leaves on a plant stem, which is a crucial development pattern. I see. Okay. So how it gets distributed? How are the leaves distributed on it, basically? Opposite puts them literally opposite. Right? Okay, I see. Okay. So there's just different ways of spraying them out. Obviously, you can control it. Cool. Need giant man-sized leaves? The best I can do is 2x. It doesn't let me go higher. I wanted to. I wanted to just make them bigger just for the comedic effect, but no. 2x is the highest I can go. Oh, I see there's a seed. Okay. And then there's saves asset to specified location. So it's cool. Right? Navigate to this. Oh, if I save this as 5, right? There's no 5. Skeletal mesh. Let's make it a static mesh. Enable nanite foliage in project settings to enable support for nanite assemblies. Is that enabled? Yep. I gotta restart. Voxels are not enabled in project settings, therefore exported mesh will not render as voxels. Why don't these turn on by default? Fine, let's restart now. Don't save anything. It can be applied in a huge number of different ways and is modular in nature. It gives a good amount of code out of your character blueprint, and you use a director BP to control cameras. It sounds interesting. I currently literally only have one camera that follows the player and nothing else. So I think for me, I'm not at that point yet, but good to know for the future though. Yeah, for stuff like that, Leo, yeah, having it separate has its use cases, absolutely. And later on down the line, I might do that. Let's see what the AI assistant says now. Oh, now it says for Unreal Engine. Maybe they fixed it. And the last thing I wanted to check on... Where's my graph? Oh, I didn't save the graph. Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to see if I was to save this as 5. And I did static mesh, no more errors. How do I actually save? How do I execute this? Do I hit export? 1. Let's see. Eh? Okay. Okay. So there's our thing. There's the shape preservation, all that good stuff. Okay. So it has 9.28 million tries. Hold on a second. Let me see that leaf one for a moment. So the leaf is not translucent, right? I mean, not masked. It is opaque. So it is using the geo. Okay, so the geo is just detailed, right? All right, we can do this. Yes. Okay, good. By the way, if you don't know, this is how you should be doing your trees when using nanite for it. Don't use masked for your trees. If you're using masked, swap to using full geo, and you will see a performance bump. So. Yeah, cool. So this works. I just want to see that I can export. So all that makes sense. Okay. Unreal heard me talking shit. I know. I'm the worst. Use opaque material? Absolutely. If you're going to be using nanite foliage specifically, try to avoid any kind of masking. Masking is fine in general. Like, you can use masking with nanite, but especially for trees where you have a lot of cards right back to back to back to back to back to back, don't use nanite. Use pure geo. It is better to increase your try count by 10x than to use masked. In case you didn't know. Okay. So, back to AI. We're going back here because now it says for Unreal Engine. It doesn't. Earlier it said for Unreal Engine for Fortnite. Now it's for Unreal Engine. Okay. We'll pretend none of this stuff beforehand happened. We'll start again. How do I make a fence using PCG? Let's see what it tells me. It's not screaming at me this time. Okay. We're getting a better answer this time. Good. Let's see. In PCG in UE5 as a framework. Yep. Enables. Yep. You can build PCG graph and define rules. Yep. Create a PCG graph asset. It doesn't tell you how. Use nodes like create attribute and multiply to set attributes managing mesh size. Again, I had such hope. I had such high hopes because this should know everything about Unreal that it could possibly have. It should know all your nodes. It should be able to read your nodes. It should be able to read, if you create a node in a graph, have it read that node. I wanted to know everything. I don't want it sending that information anywhere because there's probably like private projects you don't want it getting out. But on a local level, I wanted to do read all that stuff. But this is not a step-by-step setup. So let's change this. I need a step-by-step tutorial on how to set up a fence using PCG. As a reminder, for those that weren't here earlier, Grok freaking gave me a grammar version out of all things and gave me the syntax and explained the syntax. There's like, here you can even use broken sections. Here's how you define the meshes and the spawn meshes. And it even like step by step, starting with enabling the plugin. Oh. That's what it's competing with. Just as a heads up, for me to say it's anywhere decent, it has to be at least as good as that. Yep. Let's take a look. Okay, edit plugins. Okay, search for, yeah, and enable it. Okay, problem. And enable it. Which one? I know which one. Huh? Right-click the content browser. Select Create Advanced Asset PCG. What? Create Advanced Asset? This is not a thing. Look, I know that the previous one we're using with UEFN, I get it, and that's why this is a little bit better now. Better is relative. Remember that. Okay, let's add a spline actor to the level? Or your, oh, what do you mean add a spline actor to the level? Hold on. Where am I getting the spline actor from? Where am I getting the spline actor from? Or your own custom spline actor. You see that, like, I just added, like, from the drop down. There is no spline actor. Okay? Add a PCG component to the spline actor. In the level, not in the content browser. Assign it, Set up basic PCG nodes and graph. Okay, let's see this part, okay? Right-click in the graph and add subdivide spline. Connect input spline from the PCG component. You need 5 out of 5 to unlock create advanced assets. I like that. I like that. I know. Add a create attribute node. Set double value to 2.0. Represents the fence segment length. Connect to multiply node for scaling size. But it doesn't say to connect it to anything. Is partitioned for you cannot partition splines. I mean, you can partition splines. I guess it's not spline mesh. I take it back.
Ads
but
here. Pausing for ads.
Why? That was a misspeak. The spline mesh you can't partition, and I was thinking fence spline mesh, but this is really bad. Set mesh sampler type to the attribute one. Set the attribute name to mesh. I don't think it ever had me create an attribute for the mesh. So where am I getting this mesh from? What is it? Okay. See how ChatGPT compares to Grok? We took a look at it earlier. ChatGPT was also garbage. It was not this garbage. Grok was the best. ChatGPT was very far below that. And this is right now, I mean, look. The horse trainer's got his shotgun. And the horse has a broken leg. That's all I'm gonna say. And poor Billy there is building a model truck and has no glue. There are many steps missing. Please, go step by step, like I've never used BCG before. This is the, if it cannot do this. What this is so far is, it's same links, by the way. It sent me the same links, which means it doesn't even check that it's actually relevant. Open your spell book to page 58 and it will have a mesh summoning spell info there. It's giving old build info, I believe, because you remember seeing advanced assets there prior to 5.2. 5.2 is when PCG was released. Justin. There is no PCG prior to 5.2. So, if that was prior to 5.2, it's smoking a lot of something. Maybe give it a link to Grok. God. Okay. So here's a detailed step-by-step beginner tutorial to set up procedural fence using PCG in Unreal Engine 5.6, assuming no prior PCG experience. 5.6 is perfect. Edit plugins. Search for Procedure Conjure Framework and turn on the plugin. Again, there are multiple ones under this name. Enable, what did Grok say actually? Okay, Grok said the same thing. You know what? Fair enough. Enable PCG geometry script interop. Required for mesh sampling. Why are we mesh sampling? What possible reason would a beginner making a mesh or making a fence need for mesh sampling? Okay, let's continue. Yeah, I might ask you that later, Skronik. Okay. Again, create advanced asset to PCG graph. Again, there's no such thing as create advanced asset. PCG to PCG graph is correct. This is not a thing. In your level, add an actor that contains a spline component. Or use a spline actor. Again. From where? How? How do I add an actor that also has a spline component? And also, you shouldn't be doing it there. You should be doing it in the content browser so you can have that actor with the spline and all that stuff. Add component, add a BCG component, so same thing as before. Add a subdivide spline node. Just it's garbage. Why are we adding a subdivide spline node? For reference, this is a grammar node. The reason why this is extremely stupid is because this is a grammar node. It deals with grammar is attribute, grammar string. This is a grammar node. Okay, well, for PCG, this is just not. This is not usable. Okay? Not usable. Okay, fine. Let's say PCG, not good. Our previous other test that we did was that we tried to learn how to make a character crouch. Okay, I showed how to do it on stream. It's very simple. Let's make a new chat. So the chat's here. By the way, is this gonna go away if I close this now? No, so this time it's keep it because it's for Unreal Engine. Okay. So, how do I make the default third-person character crouch? An alt fire system? What is an alt fire system? Like for a first-person character, like you have a regular left click versus right click? Let's start with basic crouch. That seems very advanced. I'm already worried. Okay. Bind an input key to crouch, uncrouch. This is the overview. Then use the character movement component's crouch functionality. Update the animation blueprint to blend crouch animations. Okay. That step, the overview seems correct. Okay. Open third-person character blueprint. In the event graph, add a key event for crouch input, example C key. Right-click, search for the C key event. From the pressed pin, call crouch. From the release pin, call uncrouch. Fair. That will be a hold to crouch. Yeah. But this should not be telling you to use this. It should be telling me to use enhanced input actions. Which this has been deprecated since 5.1. Why is it telling me to use this? Character movement component and enable the property can crouch. Optionally adjust these things, okay. Configure the animation blueprint. So this one's not terrible, but it's not great. So like it's passable so far. With a third person anim instance, add a bool called B is crouching. In the event graph of animation blueprints, get the character owner cast to third person character. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, there was right there. So it was this, right? This is called ABP unarmed. So it asked me for open the third person anim instance. What is the third person anim instance if I don't know about it? Anim instance, no. It's called anim class. Bad. And then it wants me to cast to the third person character. Why? If you want me to use the, I mean, okay, fair enough. Like, if you want me to use the character, but you didn't tell me where to put it. If anything, it should be replacing this cast to character, because then why are we doing two casts then? Right? It should replace this. So that's not quite right. Yeah, the character owner. How do we get the character owner? It says get owning actors in actual node. Right? You see where it's falling apart? Where unless you know how to do this and you're just using it as a general guide, like an idea, this is not correct. X is crouching, or is crouch state. Set is crouching variable. On the state, every tick or animation update. Yeah, you would need to for this, right? You would need to do it here, an update animation. I wouldn't do it this way though. I would do it instead of that. I would save the variable. You would need a reference to it. I don't. No, I think you could still in the locomotion. Can't you still just access the variables of the parent? How do I do it in mine? Because I don't check every frame. I'm pretty sure. I don't do any of checking every frame, but I still have it working. I don't think that every frame is needed. My brain's not functioning right now, so I'm like, I don't remember exactly how I have it set up, but I know that I do checks for running and all, like, right, different things. The thing it would be at the very least, it would tell you the correct names. You can see a summary of what we were going to build with the recap after steps and a wrap up. Are you making a joke about yesterday? Is that a reference to yesterday? You want to check 1,000 times per frame for that good FPS? Yeah. I think all I'm doing, I mean, look, I'm just going to load my game. So I can just show people how I'm using PaperZD, which is different slightly, but it's built on top of the same thing as the main character one. So just so people see. Yeah, Epic demands it. Takes a while to open the first time. Every day. Guess how long it takes me to open it for the first time? I'll tell you why I usually open it before the stream starts. Or actually, usually at the starting soon screen. I wish the ads would play right when I go live, but freaking minimum 1 minute delay on Twitch, which usually turns to 3 minute delay. Which is why I usually actually start, being live 4 to 5 minutes after. This AI sucks so hard that you're assuming Epic had an AI write it. would be hilarious if true. Would actually be hilarious. Let's go to the player, animation blueprint. So this is my entire event graph. I just make a reference to my character. And then in the locomotion, you know how I transfer between things? I just check if I have a tag. And this is constantly checking, basically. And that's it. Blocking is no longer a thing, so I can just actually remove this. Goodbye, block. But that's it. I don't need to check per tick. Whenever this finishes, it's checking this transition. Whenever the loop of this finishes, it checks the transitions, right? I use transitions. That's all. And then I have jump notes, but I don't remember if that's in, like I can tell it to immediately go to like idle if I want to using jump notes. I don't remember if that's in the default. I feel like that's not, so I'm not going to call that one out. But most of it is just transitions. So I just want to point that out. Where's your crouch where you have to check to make sure you don't stand up while you're under an object? That logic can be on the player. And then when I can uncrouch, I can give myself the or remove the tag. So when I click crouch, I can check that I can crouch, and then it'll give me a gameplay tag called crouch. And then when I can uncrouch, so I have the room for it, which I will do a check for by doing just a trace, I will remove the tag. When I remove the tag, it will uncrouch me. Because it will go back to idle and it will do the animation. Easy peasy. How would you know that you can stand up without on tick? You don't need to do on tick. You can check like 10 times a frame. Or sorry, not 10 times a frame, 10 times a second. That is more than enough times. And really, you should only check when you click the button. Do you press the button to did you let go of the button? If yes, assuming you have a hold thing. If yes, then uncrouch if you can. If you cannot, then do like a check, every, 0.1 seconds. And then when you're able to uncrouch, because you're not holding the crouch button down, you'll automatically get up. You set up that way. And then you do the removing of the gameplay tag. And done. You don't even do one tick if you do press down or release. Yeah, if you want to do like a toggle, yeah, you need to do a check to make sure you have the room to do it, assuming your game is designed around, crawling and stuff like that. But if you could also just create a volume. If you have only pre-designed areas where you cannot crouch, you can make volumes there that give your character a gameplay tag that says cannot crouch, and then when you're in that area, if you let go of crouch and you have this tag, do not let go of crouch. Once you leave the area and it removes the cannot crouch tag, check that are you currently crouched? If yes, uncrouch. That's it. I mean, unless someone will tell me that I'm wrong, which I'm will happily admit, but I'm pretty sure you can just do it like that, and it'll be relatively simple. And will not check almost ever, except when you enter a zone, exit a zone, or not even that, when you press the button. It'll be like 5 checks total max in the scenario or something like that. But that would be even more performant than checking 10 times a frame. Are you sure? Have you tried 10 times a frame, though? If you're just crouching, uncrouching, there's no checks, right? Assuming your game doesn't even involve going under areas, you can just crouch, uncrouch, just add a tag, remove a tag, add a tag, remove a tag, done. I mean, that's how I have it set up, and it's worked really nice, so I don't know. You're running a line trace on tick? Why are you doing on? Don't do it on tick. Do it on a timer. At the very least, do it on a timer. Do it on a timer and turn on max once per frame. Please. You can do it on tick, but if someone's computer is just very beefy, it's just unnecessarily like more complex. Usually you're fine with doing timer and a time interval of like 0.01, like for most things. That is 100 frames a second. And even for animation, that will look smooth enough. You don't need to play any animation faster, like smoother than that. Could it look nicer and more frames if they're playing in a 165 hertz monitor? Sure. You don't need to do it that way. Who cares about checking if you uncrunch and there's a thing over your head, you just get stuck. You're also writing the results a JSON save file. Yeah, all the things. Anyway, this is not good. It is better than the PCG one, but it is still not good. There's one thing that we still wanted to check. I don't think you can do this, but actually, can you read the nodes in a blueprint? I think it cannot. It is not a chat bot. I think it is literally just a search thing. Not a good one, but I think it's just a search. I don't think it will be able to tell me, like, have a conversation with it. Like, hey, can you read blueprints? So I'm about to find out. Yes, you can read and enumerate the nodes inside a blueprint, but only within Unreal Editor, not a runtime. That's not what I asked. That's not at all what I asked. What nodes are currently in the content third person blueprints BP third person character event graph? I don't think it has any information, basically. I'm just confirming. I have zero hope for this one. This is what I want, though. If it's built into Unreal, I want it to read my notes. I don't want it to send this information anywhere, though, but I want it to read the notes. Any AI should be able to do this. Send a picture of some blueprints and ask it what they do. Agreed. Don't allow them to crouch. Yeah, that will solve it. You cannot get a direct list of nodes inside a blueprints event category remotely or on. Yeah. It cannot help you at all, basically. So to summarize, the AI cannot read any nodes in your graphs at all. Its search functionality isn't very good or accurate. And it is not a chatbot. So you cannot ask it just general questions to maybe get it to explain things differently or anything like that. It will literally only search the information somewhere, and it might be only searching inside of its own documentation, which is lacking as the kindest word I can say. And so it is kind of, well, useless. Just use Grok. If you want good blueprint, PCG, or any kind of help, just use Grok. Or better yet, if you need PCG's help, come and watch my videos. Yep. You tie the line trace to a function. Now, no line trace needed. Every time the player moves while crouching, you capture a location. Whenever they move to the location once more, you can see how far they've traveled. I mean, you don't even need to do that because... Nah, you don't even need to do that. Mine's even simpler. I mean, you do a line trace if you don't want to do the zones. But you just do it on a timer. That's it. You also cannot do it by distance traveled by the player in case there's a moving platform above. I think his cushion box on enter on exit would work the fastest. If players are holding the button and they've exited the volume, they can stand. Yep. Oh. There's a collision box, not cushion box. Got it. It's chronic. Button hold is the easiest to do. Crouch toggle is also more performant, but manual. It depends on the game. Normally, you'd want to give the player the option of choosing between the two.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Excuse me. Custom data types. This I'm doing this during ads, but This is a little bit. You cannot add your own stuff. This I found out you can only add your own stuff here using C++. So, and all this is just a drop down that also happens to show you what is supported. If you do Surface, it'll support all of this. If you do just rendered RTD, it'll just support that. That's it. You can do just a landscape spline, etc. A little sad. Just stop moving, you're supposed to be paused for ads. If the AI was useful, you could tell it to make a collision box with a cannot stand bool under all platforms in your game that are high enough to get under while crouching. Yeah. I mean, that would be a very powerful AI. But that would be a very convenient one. Like, my hope that it will be able to, and this is with a big caveat again, that it will be able to read the nodes I have in my project and understand them. And so if I forget where something is or need help refixing an area, it can just tell me. But, and this is the big one, I need it to not send that information anywhere. Like, I need to be able to use it offline anywhere. Okay? Because otherwise, nobody's going to be using that, right? And also, it uses the full chat bot and all that, et cetera, et cetera. So the custom data types is not very helpful. It's just a visual thing, really. GPU fast interrupt, we can play around with that when we get a chance. Again, there's the GPU stuff all requires HLSL though. Without documentation for Python, actually, it has a documentation button. Hold on. Go. I like how you're saying that to yourself. Where's the Python documentation? Why does it open freaking Chrome? It is not set as default. Stop it. You guys want to see what it opened for the documentation for the Python interrupt? Any guesses at what the documentation sent me to? Hey, have you heard of this thing called the procedural content generation framework? Thanks. Also, 5.4. It doesn't even select 5.6, the newest one. Is the 5.4 version for the Python interrupt. Why even have a documentation button? What is even the point? Okay, what about this stuff? Polygon 2D. Create Polygon 2D. And use concrete data? Oh, what do you mean it's concrete? Oh, what am I supposed to put in here? Oh, I need to put this in the world. See? Okay. You can put in points and then you can... So really it wants a spline. Because it wants a closed spline, basically. Okay, this gives me nothing. Offset polygon? Oh, okay. All of a sudden I went from this to this. What? 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 How am I getting the shape when changing the offset? I don't... That's what you get, Kronik. Get a slow clap. That's all you deserve. Do you remember the Windows 98 parrot assistant that you can talk to throw a mic and tell it to open a thing and find something and talk to you? I don't, because I don't remember Windows 98. I'm pretty sure I had it, but I was too young to actually like remember it. No, hide a character with a line trace. So it needs a spline. Can we give it a spline real quick? Okay, so we have this now in the graph. Get spline data. Oh, but that cannot go into the create polygon? Really? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. And now we can offset. Oh, cool. So you can make a spline of different shapes like this. Oh, this is pointless. What is the open? Open does nothing. What is the close? No idea. Can I make a surface from polygon? No. There's just a surface sampler. Which, if I'm using a spline, then it won't be needed. They can be all the nodes. Hold on. What are all the nodes? Opposite polygon operation. Is polygon operation not in here? Oh, polygon operation isn't. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I'm just blind. And clip paths is there. Clip polygons. So what happens if I do this? And then use get spline data, all world actors, by class, select multiple, ignore self and children. Oh, just because it needs the same thing here. Uh-huh. Uh, 2 points. Balance modifier? Just want to see my points. Absolute. Okay. So this is not really cutting anything out. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Okay. Cool. That's pretty cool. This is intersection. We can do union. Force region? No. Why is it being a butt though? Union doesn't do anything. Difference? No, it's just not refreshing now. Oh, why is it not refreshing anymore? Why? Why is it the way it is? It doesn't even show the points. Yeah, it's very much. It's very much not ready. It has decided that it will no longer. Yeah, it will no longer just do anything. Oh, why did this get disconnected? Hold on. No, the problem is that this got... What? Hold on. Union. Union has no second input? What are you unioning with? Union is like a... Oh, it wants that. Okay, fine. I wish there was a way of knowing that. Okay, fine. That's union. Difference does need a separate. Okay, difference cuts it out. Okay. Intersection is what's in between. Pairwise intersection takes all of them. Inner intersection again needs them put in here. So this is just where they all... Oh, this takes like... What? Okay, this one needs multiple. Exclusive ore. Cut with paths? Oh, this needs clicks. This needs clip paths. Which is this? Okay, well, this is interesting. It does give some very interesting stuff, I will say. It definitely, stuff like this is sort of like the stuff I was showing with PCGEX. So, yeah. This, you know, is relatively interesting. I don't know what the create surface from polygon is supposed to do. I think what I probably need to do here is from here, yeah, I have this, so then I could do a surface sampler. Probably no surface sampler gets me nothing. .2 points. No, I genuinely thought I should use a surface sampler here. But this gets me nothing. No information at all. This has no inputs or outputs. I don't know what it wants on this one. This is cool though. I know Tim is probably not going to be happy with me and this. It's like, oh, I don't need PCGX for this anymore. But generally, this is actually pretty cool. It doesn't give you as much control for certain things as I would like, but you probably would need to do multiple polygon operations. But, you know, we can play around with this at a certain point down the line, like a full deep dive in this. Probably once it releases, though. And we need to figure out what these paths are. Because it takes this purple one. So I'm not sure. I'll take this. I can actually debug this line here. Hold on. I don't know. Well, maybe we just do this. Ooh. So we go from. Oh, okay. So I get it. I get it. So you see how this is the 4 points, right? The 4 points there. Then we do clip paths, and it has cut it here and here, and so it has the points there. I don't know why this one has 2 there, but if I just move this, right? So now it has clipped it, you know, there. I don't know why we have 2 there. That one's odd. Oh, is it because I was doing something else? No. Ah, it was because I was no. For some reason, we got 2 there, on certain locations. It has only 4 points, but if I get the second one, oh, I have multiple data here. Interesting. Let's just do. Oh, you know, because we're doing a intersection at the same time. So let's just do one of these. There we go. So now wherever it's cut, it cuts it. It creates the points. Okay. No, checks out. Checks out. For this, probably not very useful, but I think it's very powerful. The one that we didn't check out though is split spline intersection. I love how it converts its own type. I don't know why. So it's gonna go. Let's do this. So the intersection now against other splines. Original splines with intersection. It might need multiple inputs. Let's do this. It was not happy with me doing that. Unreal is very much not happy with me right now. Ooh. Well, it's not happy with me. Well, it said with other splines, so I thought it meant it wants me to plug in multiple splines. It didn't. But it's pretty cool. You probably needs a little bit of figuring out. But pretty cool. I'm thoroughly disappointed by the AI. I kind of want to make a video on that for Sunday, going over the AI, just an edit of the live stream of AI and stuff. We'll see. I might do that for people that missed it. Warn everyone that it's not great. It's not great. The poly stuff is pretty cool. The BCG editor mode is not in. This, you cannot create your own tree designs. We didn't test this. Custom data types, you cannot create your own custom data types with C++. Polygon 2D data type operations seem like they're working and pretty cool. We can play around with it more later. Depending on how tomorrow morning goes, I have a call with about the save game problems that I've been having with the developer of that asset. Depending how that goes, we'll either do some more game dev or I might want to revisit the Polygon 2D tomorrow. GPU stuff requires HLSL. This is just default. We don't have any documentation of Python, so it is what it is. Don't do it. They will throw you out. You'll not get all the sweet broken crap. But if it's broken crap, why do I need it? No, I definitely want to, you know, I'll go over the AI thing probably for this weekend. Genuinely, it was the thing I was most excited about, which is the thing that hurts me the most. It's like, I was like, Epic is making one built into the engine. That must mean it'll be able to do all this stuff, and it can't do anything. And it's just sad. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That's all. As disappointed as I can be as a parent in their child. Not angry, I'm just disappointed. Anyway, guys, it's been fun. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll see. We'll either explore some Polygon 2D data stuff tomorrow, or we'll go back to game dev. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.